Time for another stock review. This time we're talking Volcon, VLCN. During this review, you're going to see the full financials, a back test. You're going to see a profitability score, a solvency score, who's buying on the inside, who's selling on the inside, whether you should buy the stock, whether you should sell or hold the stock. Again, it's just my opinion. I'm completely impartial. I don't own any stocks other than the S&P, so you know all my reviews are unbiased. I use the most advanced algorithmic software. We're going to look at the website. It looks very exciting. We're also going to do a back test against the S&P, some latest news around the stock. All of that's coming up for you. And we also have what's called Meet the CEO series, where my investors, I like to call them the Lucas aides, contact the CEOs and invite them on the show. And I'll tell you how you can do that on later in the show, in the video. And we've got CEOs lining up now to be on the show to share their stories about their company. Tap the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell if you want more stuff like this. I use the most advanced algorithmic software. If you'd like a copy of it, my members can get it for free or a lifetime discount, the premium plan. I'll give you the links above my head and down below in the description during this video. Okay? So let's get straight into it. What is Volcon? It's ticker symbol VLCN. Can you make money from this stock? Is it ready to make money? It's certainly a penny stock right now, but does it have huge potential? Well, let's look over the numbers. Let's decide whether together Volcon is an investment or not. What is Volcon? Ticker symbol VLCN. This is the line chart. You can see very basic information. We start off basic and get more in depth as we go. It IPO'd here, and of course, it must have had a reverse split, I would imagine. And now we're down at 178. It's been going pretty much sideways for a few months at least anyway, but it's continually trending down. What is it? Well, Volcon engages in the design, development of electric outdoor power sports vehicles. Also offers electric 2- and 4-wheel motorcycles and utility terrain vehicles. The company was founded by Gerard, Okonsky and Adrian James in 2020, so it's quite new, only 4 years old, and is headquartered in Round Rock, just down the road from me. I'm here in Dallas. Perhaps they would like to come round round the studio with one of their vehicles. I can race it around and do a review on it. That'll be fun. There you go, in Texas. This was where I am. John K. Kim. Now, John K. Kim, welcome to the show. If you are listening to this, my investors may have sent you already a video inviting you to be on the show. For the investors watching this, I give you the invitation to that, the link to that video, which you can send on social media or email to Investor Relations or John directly in the description on this video. Perhaps you'd like to invite them on, and we'd love to hear from the company. All right, could be quite a fun one, couldn't it, eh? Especially if I get some sort of motorbike to ride around on. Anyway, that's one of the perks for me, right? Maintenance requirements, 100%. It's regarded as high risk if you're buying this on margin. Market cap is 505,000. $500,000. I think that's the lowest market cap I've ever seen. I don't know if I've seen a market cap less than $500,000. Wow, we could buy the whole thing today, folks. Who wants to buy the whole thing? Okay, look, you're going to get lots of motorbikes, lots of quad bikes and stuff. Be brilliant, wouldn't it? 52-week high, 108. 52-week low, 81 cents. Let's look at the earnings later on. Price to earnings ratio, we don't have much information. Average volume, 4.56. Average volume today, 57 million. Something must be going on. Well, of course, we had an announcement yesterday, and we're going to cover that in the video in a moment. What about the earnings? Going sideways, going sideways, going sideways, going sideways. Boom. Fell off a cliff. That's why the stock price is down. That's why there's so much volume on the trading. But unfortunately, to the wrong side. Who else is investing in this stock? In other words, who else buys this stock on Robinhood? Who else buys it? Well, Mullen. That's a shame. Mullen is a scam company, purely designed by Dave Mitchery to take advantage of people. Awful. Hate that company. It's one of the worst stocks, if not the worst stock on the stock market. Constant reverse splits, terrible company. Now, what it means is if investors buy that one also, they are gamblers, they are speculators, they are shorters. We'll find out how much short interest we have later on. Canoe is also a very weak stock. Nicola's had a very checkered past, could do much better in the future. I like what they're doing now, but they've had a founder go to prison and all kind of stuff. Rivian lose a fortune when they sell cars. And even worse, we've got Lucid lose $500,000 every time they sell a car. One of the highest paid CEOs in the world, who's driving the company to be private, pays himself $500 million in wages and gets away with it. I don't know how he does it. Anyway, Fisker has had a lot of negativity around the stock. A lot of that was caused by Elon Musk sponsoring in a roundabout way Marcus Brownlee, a big YouTuber. Terrible. I'm trying to put that right, and we're covering the earnings for that tonight. What this means is the stock will be volatile because the people that buy it are gamblers, scammers, not all, of course, but a lot of negative news, a lot of false news, a lot of shorting. So the stock is going to take some punishing, no doubt about that. Anyway, let's move on now to the news and more information. So if you've not yet subscribed and tapped the like button, please do, as we start now to dive deeper into the numbers and the latest news around the stock. Let's have a look. We've got some news. And first of all, I'm going to share with you the website. Website looks very cool. I like this. This reminds me actually of traditional old British BSA Norton bikes. Really good. Look at that, the Volcon Brat. I like that. I have to say, I like this as well. I like this. This is my sort of bike. I got to be honest, I like this. This looks like an old BSA Norton Black Shadow, of course, without the engine. This looks really, really good. I like it. I like how it looks. What else have we got down here? So Volcon, maybe you want to send me one of those and we'll have a little test of it. Hey, that'd be great. I'd ride it around all day long. Volcon line of vehicles give you the edge in exploring the rock, the hard place, and everything in between, from off-road riding, hunting and farming, bike lanes to backcountry. Volcon builds the highest quality electric vehicles. I'm loving it. Electric motorbike, like that, looks like that. I'm all in. I'm all in already. So Volcon, you're getting a really good commercial here for your stock. Send me one of these bikes. Let's review it. Let me ride it around. You don't have to give it to me. You can give it to me if you want. I mean, that's fine. But I'm quite happy just to, ride it around for the day. And it'd be great. I'd love to do a review on it. Anyway, there you go. That's what the company looks like. Electric vehicles, motorbikes that look really sexy and rock and roll. I'm very excited about this because we'll trend number one on the stock, I'm sure, and I'll get to hear from them. So, I'm excited. Right, okay. Business update from Kim New, CEO at Volcon. What we got here from John Kim, I beg your pardon, from John Kim, the new CEO at Volcon. This was just yesterday, just out, hot off the press. So it's been a little over 3 weeks since I took the role of CEO for Volcon. I'd like to spend a moment to give you an update on the company as we've made some significant achievements. First, we successfully launched production of the Volcon Stag. Is that Stag? Let me zoom in. Yes, it is. Which is the latest production electric UTV on the market. We're currently ramping up manufacturing. Also, I'm excited to announce that today we've delivered our first production vehicle to the US Army Corps of Engineers, where it was evaluated for military and humanitarian aid purposes. This first vehicle is part of a larger order of units that will be delivered to them over the coming months for further testing. Overall, we've achieved a major milestone by starting delivery. In the coming months, we will continue to ramp up Stag production and sales while continuing to deliver our line of electric motorcycles to customers in the US and abroad. Okay, I like it. Good news coming out of the company. Very, very nice indeed. Now then, that's all very well and good, but we do we do have to now look at the numbers. Now, we've got some excitement here on the stock. Eric B, Volcon as a page. I don't know how to tag you on it. What you do, Eric B, later on when this video premieres, when it comes out, which will be later on today, you can comment on their X account. You can tag me by just writing at Martyn Investor. If you look on my page, you'll see my name. You can copy it and just copy that into the message at Martyn Investor. You'll see how it comes up, and you can tag the video. You can also email the investor relations, sending them this video plus the invitation CEO video I showed you earlier. There'll be a link to that in the description of this video, and they're bound to find out about it. If you do that, we're bound to trend for it. If everyone messages them, I guarantee you we will rank #1 for this within about a week. And if we do, and they see it and you message them, they're going to send one of those quad bikes around the house, and I'm going to be riding it around doing a great review on it. Anyway, let's move on. Very excited. I love this job. Right? Subscriber, ring the bell. Let's move on now to the numbers. At the end of the day, we want to know, can we make money from this stock? Is it worth an investment? Obviously, it's exciting, but can it make money? Well, let's have a quick look, and let's have a look at the numbers. Here we go. Intrinsic value. Undervalued by 82%. 82%. We must have had some bad news on the earnings. We'll cover that in a moment. The stock has dropped like a stone. It does look like it's undervalued at the moment, but do we have any valuation warnings? We're going to cover that now so you can know and have a look. 75% best case, base case 72, worst case scenario 69%. Do we have any warnings? We do have a slight warning. Volcon intrinsic value estimate is unreliable because based only upon multiples and not DCF valuation. That's because we don't have enough information from the company, thereby we can't be accurate with our valuation. It's the best, at the end of the day, it's a best guess based upon the numbers, but it's the best we can do right now. What is an intrinsic value? You might want to pause the video just there and have a look at what an intrinsic value is so you understand what it's all about. Okay, moving on down, we're running real time, a back test. We can't, not enough information. What about the financials? This company only has 2.9 million. It's a very, very new company, very, very small company, 2.9 million. However, it's up 9% on the most recent range, and we are expecting a S-curve. That's what you look for in a new company. That is an S-curve. Up she goes, right? That's good. Revenue increasing and expected to increase. Operating income was down 9%, negative 26 million. Net income at negative 7%. Free cash flow is up 0.2%. Capital expenditure is up. So we're up 49%. We're spending more money on the business. We don't mind spending money on the business as long as it returns a profit. Operating cash flow up 1% on the most recent range. Let's look now at the business, the balance sheet. Very, very important. This is why the stock has dropped. This is why it's so low. 16.2 million in assets. 37 in liabilities. It's an upside down balance sheet. We've got more expenditure, more going out than coming in. 16 million in assets, 37 in liabilities. That's not good. But we do have 2.8 million in cash. So we have some cash earning money. That's good. But how much debt do we have? 37 million. Short-term debt, 29 million. So we have short-term debt, because it's a new business, of 29 million. That could turn into long-term debt and be a problem for the company. Might need to raise. That's why the stock price is probably down so low. But let's have a look at the efficiency, the profits, what they're likely to do. Right now, short-term debt is 80% of their liabilities. That, of course, could turn into long-term debt, and then the company is in potentially some kind of trouble. We need a cash injection. We need a raise. We need an investor. We need the stock price to go up. We need all kinds of things. If we've got a lot of short interest, we'll have a look. We'll cover that in a minute. Right, efficiency of the company. It's improving. It's a new company. It's improving. That's what we want to see. When you start a company, you're investing, you're making no profits, you're spending money, bringing a little in, your efficiency is not good, right? Gross margins, operating margins, they're all improving. That's good. Things are improving. So all I can say is it's going in the right direction. However, new business profitability score is low, 20%. Very low profitability at the moment. This is high risk, folks. High risk stock. Very sexy, very fun, could be great, but upside down balance sheet, high risk. However, that's when Warren Buffett likes to buy a company when it's got a great future, a great potential, if you believe that. But at the moment it's struggling. It needs an injection of cash. It needs a raise, whatever. It won't be able to carry on like this. This is a time when you could buy it under value, as the intrinsic value would suggest. Profitability is 20%. The profitability score is extremely low. As you can see, only thing that's good is exceptional return on equity, making some money on the cash, but everything else is not so good, right? What about our solvency score? 20%. Long-term solvency, short-term solvency, not good. Positive net debt, not good. All we got is low DE. So 20% solvency, the company is in trouble. It needs an injection of cash. It needs to raise funds. Now, it could go to the shareholder. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Anyway, what do you think? Let's have a look. Now then, Wall Street see a great potential. They like the outlook. They like the forecast. 1,164% upside. Flipping huge. Absolutely flipping huge upside. Worst case scenario, look at that, 1,152. Best case scenario, 1,200. Wall Street see a huge potential. Perhaps it's been oversold, and there's massive upside here. So maybe you could buy an allocation of this money you can afford to risk in your high risk bag. Perhaps, there's a huge upside if they get it right. Well, there's the competition. I'll give you the link to the competition later on in the video. You can go and check out my software and see what the competition looks like. Is there a competition, and how does their balance sheet add up? Okay, moving on down. Now then, what about owners? Well, inside trading. No one's been selling or buying. Thank God they weren't selling. If they were selling, I would imagine that would send out the wrong messages and the business could be in major trouble. But they're not buying either. They probably can't afford to buy. They probably can't afford to buy back shares. Investors, the owners of the company, aren't actually buying back, which is a bit of a shame. But there you go. No action, but at least they're not selling. Right. Short interest. Okay, here we go. 13%. No short squeeze. We need at least 20%. Huge volume. Now, we do have volume today, or because of yesterday, everyone dumping the stock, but in the wrong direction. We need people buying the stock in the positive direction, and 13%, well, we need some more short interest than that. At the moment, it's just negative pressure. But negative pressure means the stock is down because there are short interest. Don't expect a short squeeze, though. Okay, moving on down. 1 year ago, there's no point covering the news from a year ago. That's not really much point. My review will appear here, as it does on Alpha Spread. They do all my reviews because they're honest and real. There we go. So there is my thoughts on Volcon. Now, let's also look at a back test. Very, very important. If you were investing in this company, what could you have got if you'd invested elsewhere? Well, back in 2022, it's not really long enough. We have the S&P. 10 grand would now be worth 10.5. Okay, what you'd expect. And Volcon would be worth $25. Ouch. $25 from 10,000 to $25. So it doesn't get much worse than that, does it? Now, is it an opportunity for you to buy the dip? Well, This is, I would say, all about what you believe. Do you like what the company is doing? I mean, it's in the right place. Texas, people love this sort of thing. I love it. I got excited at the beginning. I'd love to talk about the company, love to promote it, love to ride around on a motorbike. And I'm sure that I could rank number one on YouTube and Google for doing it and draw attention to the stock. Definitely. I'm very pro EV. I'm very pro environment. I'm very, I love all this stuff. I've ridden a motorbike all over the world. So, I like all this. But the business itself needs to raise money. Hasn't got much cash, but Wall Street say huge upside from here because it's been beaten up, and that's all we really have to say on it. There's not enough information, unfortunately, to share with you. So there you go. Is it a buy from me? Well, I like the sector from the EV, environmental, and the motorbike sector, and it's the right place for in Texas. A lot of people will like this thing here. The company need to raise funds so that they may go to the shareholder. They may have to. They're not buying any. They're not buying any stock themselves. But at least no one's selling. I think because there's no interest on it, it could rank number one, and I could single-handedly with my viewers get a lot of attention to the stock, and it could get a bit exciting, and people could think there's an opportunity because Wall Street are giving it a huge upside. So if you bought it now, and it raised and it went up, say, to $3, and then they wouldn't want to dilute at $3, but let's say it got to $4 or $5, they might then dilute at that level, go back down to $3. You bought it at $1.90, you're still up. Maybe it's it's a bag you could consider. I don't know. So obviously I can't give it a buy because it's extremely speculative until we start getting some news. Maybe my videos will rank and people will start talking about it. Maybe then there could be some more interest right now on the upside. So I can't give it a buy. I'm going to give it a potential reevaluation. I need to keep my eye on it and look back on it. All right. So click above my head for all the links down below in the description. You might find you will find the links to Alpha Spread. Also, the link to the Meet the CEO if you want to send that video out on social media along with this video. Maybe you want to email investor relations or tag them on social media and say, Martyn would love to review your stock. He'd also love to have you on the show. There is that video below. Over here, I'll put all my reviews. I reviewed just about 100 stocks now, and it's going up 5 today. So there you go. All right, there you go. Go and check it all out. As always, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.